Hey baddies, so it's Sierra with Lashes by Sierra. This is my first YouTube video and you're going to come with me today to do my day 2 lash masterclass that I'm hosting today. My students 2-hour practice and model day. So if you're interested, keep watching and go ahead and subscribe and thumbs up this video and let's get into it. Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. So my student came from Beasley, Texas. As y'all know, if y'all don't know, I am from Lake Jackson, Texas. So Beasley is about an hour away from where I'm at. So I'm actually pretty stoked that like someone came an hour away to take my lash class. She took a 2-day lash master class. It consists of like basically learning fundamentals of lash extensions. You're gonna learn theory, the anatomy of lash extensions, well lashes, and then learning lash mappings, my special lash mappings, all those good stuff. I feel like it's just a really good start on things. She learned isolation, fanning, and placement within the first like 4 hours. She literally killed it yesterday. So I'm excited. She took her kit home last night. So I'm pretty excited to see what she practiced overnight. They only consist of 2.5 to 2.5 hours of practice on a mannequin, and then her model comes in right after. Now her model is her mom, so I think it really will take the edge off for her, because whenever you're lashing your own family member or a friend, whenever you're modeling for your lash class, it's a lot more less stressful. And right after that, my student leaves at like 2:15, and then after that I have 3 refills. They're an hour each, so not too bad, but I am literally busy today, so I love that for me. I'm gonna touch base, like I said, again on lash mappings. It goes based off of your natural eye shape, the client's natural eye shape. Typically, what I typically do sometimes, I always look at the outer corners to make sure if they have droopiness, you want to avoid any heavy, long links towards the ends. This one would be open eye. Don't mind my handwriting, it is horrible. So open eye, typically the longest length usually goes into the middle. This is the inner corner and that's the outer corner. You would typically do 10, and these are just random numbers that I'm choosing. You don't have to use the exact numbers. And then you can also skip numbers. So if you want to skip numbers to give your lashes a more drastic jump and not so uniform, because you know how sometimes you'll see lashes and they're all like one, they look like they're all one length, but they are different lengths. It's just there's no dimension. That's how you can avoid that look, is whenever you jump numbers. So let's say you do 10, 12, 14, back down 13, and then you could do 11. Open eye is for more people that have droopy eyes, kind of downturned eyes. And then cat eye, you can it just depends. I tend to tweak it every once in a while. I'll do like a fox eye kind of, so you'll basically same thing as a cat eye. You just kind of remember how I told you you can go in with a shorter length at the end and kind of like lift it a little bit to where it looks like a cat eye, but it's still like a little bit tweaked somewhat. So you can do like, let's say 9, 11, 12, 14, and go back with 12s. It's still a cat eye, but you're kind of insinuating that lift at the end to where it's not going to be like 14s all the way in the corner drooping down. But a true cat eye would be full on, let's do 13 and then 14. So your longest length, that's a true cat eye. Your longest length will be at the end and your shortest length will be in the front and the inner corner. And then you'll kind of just make your way to the longest length, short to long. That's pretty easy to remember. A lot of clients want cat eye, but always remember their eye shape. And if they're still okay with like, hey, I still want a cat eye, even though I know my lashes or my eyes look a little droopy, can you try to avoid it? That's whenever you'll go in and you'll hit her with the 12s, even sometimes 11s, just to kind of give that lift towards the end. So that's more like a fox eye, cat eye in a way. But this is a true cat eye. Doll eye, what you'll do is the longest length will always go to where the arch of the brow is. So typically, I'll do like 10, 11, 13, 14, and you can even add an extra link. So you'll do 12, 11. You can mix the numbers up however you want. These are just examples. It's not necessarily you have to use these numbers. That's an example. So as you can tell, it's kind of similar to the open eye where the longest length is kind of here. The longest length on this side is kind of shifted just a little bit to more of the right. It kind of gives you doll eye and open eye typically come with lash strips. So a lot of lash strips that are made at like Walgreens and stuff. The Kiss brand, they tend to use open eye and doll eye styles a lot because it goes with a lot of people's eye shape more than what cat eye and Typically, I usually tape and do iPad, but I'll demo one for you, and then you'll do the next one. So I'm gonna switch spots with you really quickly just so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. So what you're gonna do is, of course, sanitize your hands before, so you can use this hand sanitizer if you want. So what you'll do is you'll have her look up. And so you'll kind of turn this down so it doesn't hurt her eyes. You'll kind of just go place it kind of closer. I'll do this side so you can see better. So this side usually goes onto the outer side, or you can do whichever one. It's whatever you want to do. And when you're doing it, you don't want to place it too close to the water line. That's perfect. And then when you do try to isolate, try not to open her eyes. Sometimes the tweezer will slide back and forth. It'll kind of open the lid a little bit, but literally snaps because you're doing so good. You're doing so good. Y'all, I stepped out and she's doing so good. I had to kind of come on here and say that because I feel like she's doing so well. Her banning's perfect, isolation's perfect. So I am so excited for her. So let's get back in there. So when you brush them through, you'll feel how soft they are. This one, we can reuse that fan. When that happens, it's just because you didn't use enough glue, and sometimes you get afraid to dip too far in because it does get on your tweezers. Um, but when you brush, you'll just kind of feel like this one has a little bit of glue on it, but I can show you how to get it off. And how to avoid that is whenever you're going in with the lash, you want to make sure, let's say we're isolating like right here, kind of more in the lashes. You see how there's lashes like right here? Yeah. If you want to avoid getting lash glue on there, what you'll do is you'll come from this angle and place it here. Or you'll come from this angle and kind of avoid these lashes because if you come in straight this way, you're going to get glue all over these and it's going to be hard to brush them. Okay. So whenever you do isolate from like a lower, usually it happens whenever you're trying to get into like the bottom layers. You want to make sure you're going in from like an empty space from this way or from the top, never through this way whenever you have the lashes there. And every time you're doing your pulling, you're always wanting to find your sweet spot because if not, it will be so much harder to find to get the lash off of the tweezer, off the strip. I would just apply a little bit of pressure. So that is the end of my day and the end of my YouTube video. I got so busy. I had 3 clients right after my student. So it got pretty busy in the studio, but she passed with flying colors. My phone also died after she finished her full set. So I was a little upset about that, but hey, look, she passed with flying colors. She got her certificate and now she's about to be a boss babe. So hit her up in Beasley, Texas for lashes. And yeah, if you haven't already, thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next videos that are coming out next. If you are ever interested in doing lashes, brows, anything like that, I offer lash courses, 1, 2, and 3-day courses. I also offer 1-day brow classes, brow lamination and tint. So if you're ever interested, go ahead and sign up for it. Go to my Instagram and Facebook, Lashes by Sierra, and you can find more information. Bye, babies.